Goeienaand, good evening fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, I've got a couple of unsubstantiated reports of coronavirus impacting groups of people or businesses that have not been reported in the mainstream media. I do say they are unsubstantiated, although one appears to be pretty certain because there's confirmation from several people that this is happening. And let me just post you the image that I received. I'll just read out in case you can't actually read it, but this is what it says. Bedford Centre Capitec closed. One Capitec employer has the virus. No one can get out, waiting for authorities. And someone writes under that, any truth to this? And then the response, it is true, Nedbank also closed. The banks are being disinfected at the moment. Unfortunately, it's true, this info is from a reliable source. He works for Capitec. Now, this is all from the one person, but that appears to be a valid situation. And please, just put your comments down below, just confirmation or not. If this is starting to happen around South Africa, which are unrelated to that group that came over from Italy, you can see that there are other people in South Africa that have come in that have the virus who have not been identified, because that's what's actually going on behind the scenes. That's what I predicted would happen a couple of weeks ago. Now, the second one I've received, and look, anyone who works for Sasol surely knows a bit about this, so please just send me or put a comment down below and just confirm or deny or let us know whether this is true or not. But the point I'm making is that we're going to be getting a lot of these, and a lot of them will be valid as this damn thing spreads, because it will. One person from Secunda, close to Standerton, working for Sasol, we have about 18,000 permanent employees, excluding contractors, was admitted to the Standerton Hospital last week. He mentioned while there, a nurse told him that people have been tested positive for the coronavirus. She said she definitely know of one confirmed case. Apparently they're not allowed to talk about this, as it will cause panic amongst the community. I don't know if this is true, but it is believable, as we know our government is always in denial. Please share on your channel. I don't want to share my name. Okay, so again, this is unsubstantiated, but the reason I'm putting this out there is because this is the sort of thing that's going to start happening. It will start appearing in different places around South Africa, and there will be clusters. This is the way it actually spreads. I mean, this is what's happened in other countries far more developed than South Africa. Italy, UK, USA, just to mention a few. They've had this thing where clusters set out and then the virus just goes mad in that community. So, as I said to people, if you're in a community which is facing a huge outbreak of coronavirus and you've prepped, best thing you can do is just quarantine yourself at home, especially if you're over 65 years old, because that's where the dangers really happen. All right, guys. I'm going to just read you some more information about the coronavirus before I shut off this video, just so you understand the impact that the virus is having around the world. Okay, so we're talking about how has the coronavirus impacted sport and sporting events. In Italy, the hardest hit European country with 366 deaths from COVID-19, Serie A descended into controversy when Italian sports minister Vincenzo Spadafora called for the league season to be put on hold, the whole soccer league season to be put on hold. Incredible. Italian Football Association President Damiano Tomasi tweeted that stopping football is the most useful thing for our country right now. The teams to cheer are playing in our hospitals, in emergency rooms. However, 5 Serie A games, cancelled the previous week, went ahead behind closed doors, including Juventus' top-of-the-table clash with Inter Milan. So what they're saying there is that no one actually watched the game. It was an empty stadium, even though they played. The Italian Cup semi-finals have also been postponed to a date to be arranged. The start of Japan's J-League was postponed till mid-March, while China suspended all domestic football and shelved indefinitely the top-flight Super League season. The Valencia vs Atlanta Champions League clash on Tuesday will be played behind closed doors, as will the Europa League tie feature, Inter Milan against Gaddafi, on Thursday. Former Danish international Thomas Kallenberg tested positive for the virus, with 13 members of his former club Brøndby's staff put into quarantine. Motor racing. Bahrain's Formula One Grand Prix, scheduled for the March 20 to 22, will be held without spectators. Empty stands. The Chinese Formula One Grand Prix, which was set for April 19th in Shanghai, was cancelled. In motorcycling, the season-opening Qatar MotoGP set for Sunday and the Thailand MotoGP have been cancelled. The race has, however, been rearranged for October the 4th. Formula E postponed its Rome E-Prix, which was due to be held on April the 4th. Basketball. LeBron James says he won't play if his Los Angeles Lakers have to hold games behind closed doors due to the outbreak. The NBA has reportedly told teams to look into strategies on how to play without fans in the arena amid concerns over the spreading virus. Nah, it's impossible. If I show up to the arena and there aren't any fans in the crowd, then I ain't playing. This ain't Europe, said LeBron James. Cycling. The Spring Classic Milan-San Remo, scheduled for March 21st, was postponed, having only previously been cancelled 3 times since the inauguration edition in 1907. The Strade Bianche, the biggest race of the Italian cycling season set for Saturday, was also cancelled, along with the Tirreno Adriatico, while teams such as Mitchelton, Ineos and Astana pulled out of the Paris-Nice race. The UAE's Tour last 2 stages were abandoned, with riders and teams subsequently quarantined in their Abu Dhabi hotels. The Gulf state announced 8 coronavirus cases linked to the event: 4 Italians, 2 Russians, 1 German and a Colombian. Tokyo Olympics. The International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach said last Wednesday that the nightmare scenario of either cancelling or postponing this year's Tokyo Olympics was not discussed at a key meeting. Bach told reporters in Lausanne neither the word cancellation nor postponement was mentioned today during the executive board meeting. The Olympics take place from July the 24th to August the 9th. Rugby union. The Six Nations match between Italy and England in Rome on March the 14th, as well as the Ireland vs Italy duel in Dublin on March the 7th, have been cancelled. Scotland's Women's Six Nations match against France was postponed after a Scottish player tested positive for the coronavirus. Sevens World Series tournaments in Hong Kong on April the 3rd to 5th and Singapore the following weekend have been postponed. Cricket. Nepal's Everest Premier League, scheduled to begin on March the 14th, has also been called off. The 4th edition of the 2020 league had signed West Indies batting star Chris Gayle. Golf. European Tour chiefs postponed the Maybank Championships in Malaysia and the China Open in Shenzhen, both set for April. The US LPGA Tour cancelled all 3 of its lucrative early season events in Asia, with a combined prize purse of more than $5 million. Tennis. The ATP and WTA announced measures aimed at combating the spread of the virus days before the start of the prestigious Indian Wells event in California. Players and mascots won't hold hands when they walk on the court. Ball kids will be provided with gloves and won't handle players' towels or drinks during the matches. Players will be instructed not to disturb used towels, headbands, shirts and sweatbands, which are sometimes tossed to fans as souvenirs. Also, players won't accept pens, tennis balls or other goods or items to be signed. Athletics. The World Indoor Championship, scheduled for Nanjing from March 13th to 15th, has been postponed for a year. World Half Marathon Championships, due to be held on March 29th in the Polish city of Gdynia, shelved until October the 17th. The Paris Marathon, scheduled for April the 5th with 60,000 registered runners, was postponed until October the 18th. The Barcelona Marathon, which was scheduled for March the 15th with 17,000 runners, was postponed until October. Alpine skiing. The World Cup final scheduled for Cortina d'Ampezzo in Italy between March 16th to 22nd was cancelled. Ice hockey. The Women's World Ice Hockey Championship set for Halifax and Truro in Nova Scotia for March 31st to April the 10th have been cancelled. So, look, this is not fear-mongering. This is what is happening around the world. And these new isolated breakouts that are happening in South Africa are just the beginning of the cycle of the infestation of coronavirus. Just be aware of that. Know that it's got its foothold in South Africa, and it will spread. And with the township system and the squatter camps, it's going to be devastating. All right, guys, please stay safe, okay? Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.